Greetings, my fellow travelers. I'm going to try to deliver this message as simply and quickly as possible because there is so much to say about this weekend. This is the end of the old and the beginning of the new. And with that comes things that we don't like to consider, like death or sadness. So we have to grow up, evolve, graduate, so that these types of words and feelings and situations don't affect us in the same way. It's the dawning of the age of Aquarius. And like I said in the last video, Aquarius is not really about overly emotions. It's really more about vision and thinking forward. And so we have the total solar eclipse on Monday. We won't see it here. It's in the morning at like 10 or 11 in the morning. We will, Peru or Chile and parts of Argentina and then parts of West Africa will see it. But it's in Sagittarius, and this is a new face, a new way, and Mars is trining it, so Mars is ready to take action and to rebirth itself. And hopefully you feel the same way. It's been rough. We know it's been rough. It's been bizarre, and it's the end of the world as we know it. But that does not mean that what's coming is not better, because there's always a forward progression and a forward movement in everything that we're doing here on this planet, this school of Earth. So, with that said, we are Legacy of the Divine Tarot doing, and our first card is the Knight of Coins. This is about everything we can see and touch, about animals, our wild nature, actual wild nature in our planet. And so this is really bringing down what it is we are tangibly doing with everything. Are we allowing our wild spirit to awaken in a way that it is more in conjunction with who we truly are, how we really want to be? How do we want to be with our neighbors? How do we want to be in the world? What's really important to us? What stuff really matters? Because, a lot of us are losing stuff right now. Are we losing stuff, or are we purging stuff? Are we having things taken away, or are we rebirthing ourselves so that we can make room for the new? So, Knight of Coins, a good start. And then, of course, because the cards are telling the real story, death, with the emblem of Pluto right there. So this is the transformation of everything that's happening with this total solar eclipse, and then with the winter solstice and the Christmas star that's coming on the 21st. So the death card really has, come on, didn't I mark it? No. I was trying to be proactive and mark where I'm going to read. So Chiro's interpretation of this card is right on point. So we have, following the days of reflection, the fool now moves on, and his world seems strange. There is ruin and decay. A phantom-like figure on a horse appears in the background. The fool assumes he has died, and in a sense he has, or rather, he no longer exists in the same form. Certainly, his views and understanding of the world have been radically changed, and he doesn't feel or think as he used to. Yet this isn't finality. The decay and ruin of the past, the price is paid, and the lessons learned are not just in the past. They are also fertile sources of nourishment for rebirth and future growth. A Masonic white rose feeding from the decay flourishes and represents a rebirth. The fool may not have died in the physical sense, yet he is reborn. A spider and scorpion, symbols of death and the astrological associations, crawl over a skull carving. The heavens are also represented by the metal medallion of Pluto, the ruler of the underworld and the great renewer with power to transform death and rebirth. So he goes on to say, this card is the quintessential herald of a major transformation in your life. It can also indicate the downtime that is often necessary for us to experience new growth, and it can suggest the need to leave the past behind. So that's where we're at. This weekend is about taking time to reflect. We have to take the time to reflect. When are we going to do it if we're not going to do it now? This reflection that we take for this weekend will help us jump off from a higher point when we go into the new birth. So it's letting go of whatever it is that you need to let go of. Because our next card, the Ten of Swords. Sometimes when it gets really dire, I kind of get the giggles because, you know, it's all a game and a play that we're playing here. So like Abraham says, there's nothing really serious going on here, but we feel very serious. So anyway, Ten of Swords. This guy, he's at the end. He's at the end of the way he can think like this. He's come to a point where it's no longer going to work this way anymore. So hold on, I'm not used to having the cards marked like this. Ten of Swords, well, anyway, I can just tell you, at the end of the day, where's the killer? Where is the one that is stabbing this guy with all the swords? There is no one. So he's doing it in his own mind. It's his own thoughts that make him feel like this, that this is the end. And not to say that this isn't the end of the way of being, but, you know, this is also how we learn. This is when something goes wrong and we really have to fix ourselves and we really need to go, okay, what is the real problem here? And once we recognize it, then we can heal it and then we can move on from this guy. Because he also comes with this chick. The Five of Cups. Sorrow, sadness, loss, everything is broken. She's got two that are still intact, but there's nothing vital about them. So this, to me, signifies the majority of the world. I know that a lot of you that listen to me don't feel this way, or at least not for the majority of your time. But remember, this is what the world and the general public living in 3D feels like. What the F? I mean, is it all for naught? Is it all just going to go away? So being conscious of the fact that people's visions and the way that they're seeing things are clouded by the cups of sadness. I mean, I can feel it. Maybe you can hear it in my voice. You know, I'm in New York City and it's this general uncertainty of what is going to happen. I thought we were opening, we're not opening, we're going further into lockdown. What's? So be mindful that this is what others are feeling, even if you're not feeling it. And it doesn't mean that you need to identify with it. It doesn't mean you need to do anything about it. But it does mean that we need to really be centered in keeping our center at least in a neutral place so that this doesn't get too bad and crazy. You know, I mean, the ones that aren't feeling that, it's really our responsibility to help the others. So I don't feel sad, but the feeling around us, if you're an empath, you feel it. So anyway, this is what we got to do about it. Is the Knight of Cups. His helmet is dropping into the ocean of emotion. It can go a little too far. It can get a little crazy, but it can also really wash over us with a wonderful wave of feeling better, feeling joy, feeling kindness, feeling like we know it's going to be okay. And so delving into this ocean. We've got these ocean creatures here where everything is always just flowing. Everything is just becoming another thing, another thing. Water is the most patient and the most powerful of the elements because it just continually does its thing. If water wants to go somewhere and a rock is there, it will eventually erode it away. So this is the washing. This is the washing of our consciousness, of our emotions, of our energy, of our spirit, of everything. So, and then our final message card. I've never cried for you before, so that's how that looks like. But as you can see, spirit therapy has helped me to be able to transmute it quickly and not have to stay in that emotion. So I think that's why Spirit showed you I feel emotions too, of course. And I'm not always as happy as I am with you. I am happier, though, than I've ever been in my whole life for the general amounts of time. So thanks to Spirit therapy, I can traverse this at 11:11 because Spirit helps me. And Spirit can help you too, and surely does all the time, whether you're aware of it or not. So our final message card, Queen of Cups. She is in touch with her wisdom. She's in touch with her spirit. And she knows how to transmute energy and emotions and be able to cleanse through so that other people also feel better. Maybe that's a little bit like me, and I'm sure it's a lot like you too, because if you're a light worker, you feel people's energy. And so you also are psychopomps that help to transmute energy from the worlds back and forth. Anyway, that's a different discussion. So the Queen of Cups, the Cancerian Queen of Cups, rules the ocean of her feelings, fantasies, and altered states of perception. Precious pearls adorn her like soft glowing moons. With one fluid motion, she sends forth her treasured koi fish, emissaries of courage and good fortune. So she is immersed in water, living comfortably in an aquatic environment, like a mermaid perhaps, which indicates that she is at ease in emotional situations and that she is sensitive and empathic by nature. Also, her attire is decorated with pearls, which are traditionally associated with hidden knowledge and esoteric wisdom. So it says, there's this wonderful quote here. The way you get meaning into your life is to devote yourself to loving others. Devote yourself to your community around you, and devote yourself to creating something that gives you purpose and meaning. So that is what we're doing right now with this very intense weekend and couple weeks. It's about getting in touch with our esoteric wisdom and learning how to be a sensitive who is telepathic, empathic, because that's where we're going, and can flow with all the energies that are around us, around us, around us. So helping the others that don't feel so happy. And it doesn't mean that you got to go out and do things for people you don't know. You can, but the vibration that we hold for everyone, when we do this for ourselves, we are doing it for the community. And then we will always act kindly with others that we come in contact with. And that is the greatest gift. That is the greatest gift, because we're going to need it. We're going to need it. So I feel like I'll leave you with that. I'm sensing David Bowie back here going, it's going to be all right. It's a ride, man. It's like Ziggy Stardust, We are incredible beings that can do this, and it is an extremely exciting time to be alive. But we just have to be able to ground and center and brave this storm that, for better, well, it's always going to be for better, but however we perceive it, to put our sights on what we see for the future of joy, kindness, peace, love, and self-expression, the expression of the individual that promotes and perfects, whatever that means, and prepares the community for their future art, design endeavors. There you go. So thank you for watching. If you would like any help with this, spirittherapy.nyc is my website, and I am going to put up a special sometime this weekend, or maybe on Monday, a special where if you buy a session for someone, if you would like to gift it, and you can have a second session half off for yourself or for someone else. So it's a really good time to sort of just work through this stuff, see what's in there, so that we can really be prepared to jump off in an incredible place. I think 2021 is going to be eventually an amazing, amazing whoosh forward. So it's the age of Aquarius, man. The changing of the ages, the changing of the eras. This is apparently what it looks like. This is us. So much love, much peace, much happiness to you. Take care.